that. I wonder if it worked. We'll have to watch the recording after.
It did. It totally worked. We have a countdown.
We have a countdown. We're getting official every time, learning something new. Hello, ladies. How are you tonight?
Good.
Pretty good. I'm not dead yet, so.
That's good. Why would you be?
I have 10 plates in the air. Woo!
Oh. I'm trying to
gives up her days off to help people like me. So
I'm riding on the rims. The engine's on fire. I'm waving a flag.
Woo! And Melissa just pointed out her and I look like lumberjacks tonight. So
well, I know how cold it is there. So there you have a reason to look like that.
Yeah, you guys are in New England.
We are.
I'm in a
pair of I guess if I pulled it off, I could be a little more redneck, but
Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa. How we got people, everyone's here. How is everyone this week? Oh, goodness. I was just thinking we were going off of this. Melissa's here with me again. She likes to travel. I know she should be in your state, and instead she's in my state. So, hey. So we were just thinking tonight we should do a little talking about not necessarily drama, but just diffusing some maybe awkward situations, bad stuff going on, bad juju in the shop.
How we come back from being bitches, okay? You can survive it. You can survive it. It is survivable. We do have to start from a foundation of an agreement of trust. When you enter into any friendship, when you enter into any relationship, there is a foundation of I like you and you like me, and on down the road, we're going to have some problems. But if we start at the foundation that we are going to make it work, that we are trying to find a solution, then it's more than just, well, you said, no, you said, no, you said. So you have to look at it like that. I have a very successful 29-year marriage that is founded on those principles. I know they work. He's been in anger management probably 4 times, and yet we survived. No broken bones, no bruises, and only 1 broken table. So we're good. I know these methods work. You just have to say that
just one.
And before I get down off my soapbox, if you ask for help, be prepared to be helped. And swallow a little bit of something, and let the person change the way you see things. I'm done. Carry on, ladies.
Excellent advice. Excellent advice. I want to say hello to Loren and Cindy and Sean and all of our friends in the comment room.
Yes. I'll go real quick, just in case. If anyone's new to the Groomers Caught, give yourself Facebook permission so that we can see your lovely names on our comments, because we will just see Facebook user if you don't. So we would like to see your names, and that way we can comment to you instead of calling you Facebook user.
Yeah.
So, Melissa, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I see diffusing tense situations in the shop kind of on 2 parallel planes: the intra-employee situations and the customer, the client situation. So I'll leave the client ones for another time. But the intra-employee thing, I have a big shop. I have 13 employees, and I've had in 7 years of being open, I've had at Love for Dogs in Glencoe, I have had good mixes and bad mixes, and some of them you have to watch the individual chemistry between people, the individual pairings of people if you have a larger shop with a lot of staff. And sometimes, but my philosophy has just been, and I amen to everything Michelle just said, you start with an underlying commitment to the relationship, and then you can make the other things work. But one of the things that I've seen really help with my staff is just open honesty, like no gossip, no secrets. If somebody does something big screw up, we had one time years ago, we had a woman that brought drugs to work and stuff like that. I call a meeting and it comes out in the open. We talk about it. We don't keep anything secret. We talk about every problem. And I always start off by saying, okay, here's the problem. How are we going to solve it? So we always take everything from a problem solving approach. And I don't, run around behind the scenes trying to, create more drama. It's about diffusing drama, especially because most of the people, and I'm sure the same is true for all of us, that most of us have employees that are much younger than us, and they just haven't figured it out yet about how you don't have important conversations via text, and you don't do the gossipy, drama-y thing. The best thing is an open, honest, take the problem to the people who can solve it and have an open and honest conversation about it.
Oh, this precious angel down here, Seconda S. Ford, Connie here from Charlotte, and I'm wanting to go into business with my fiance. It says finance, but I'm going to think it says fiance. But I'm super nervous it will harm our relationship. I'm going to tell you this from the bottom of my heart, and he or she may be your forever partner for forever. Start your business, set some parameters, drop a contract, protect yourself. Protect yourself as a business entity, and just put it like that. I'm protecting the business entity with my legal paperwork, period. That's all you do. And then you have, why are you sorry? Oh, because you want to, guess what? That's a Freudian slip there. You want to protect your finances. Yes, you do. Yeah. So absolutely drop a contract. This is how the business goes. And with any good business plan, you're also going to plan for the dissolution of the business. You pre-plan that so that you know exactly how it's going to go. So those are my words to you. Take them as you will.
And always be flexible with those.
And in any business, as in any relationship at home, it's the same thing with your fiance when you guys are living together or when you're at home. It's careful division of labor. Who's going to be in charge of what? My husband and I co-own our business, although he's very rarely there. He's the business manager. He does the finances. I do the grooming and the client and the employee stuff. So we have a careful delineation. He tells me what we can and cannot afford. He tells me, we have just a very clear division of labor. And that also works really well in the home. Trust me. Well defined.
Anybody else? You want to go with something?
I agree with both of them. I mean, it's important to have clearly defined parameters to any partnership, whether it's a romantic one or a friendship or a business. You need to, set your boundaries and understand what goals you have and move forward that way. And it's the same. That's why we wind up with issues like drama and sparks flying and this and that. And because there were no boundaries set to begin with. And when we all assume things of other people, we're all going to wind up not being happy with the outcome when you make genuine assumptions. So I think that's a huge part of any relationship. And to avoid any kind of bad feelings or drama and that kind of stuff, contracts need to be made. And if you're in a shop, just verbal contracts between you and your other coworkers, that you'll be respectful to one another, and how you want to work with others.
Maybe not even verbal, but maybe an employee manual. I mean, for me, I have an 86-page employee manual, and it starts off with a 4-page statement of my value and what the values of this business are. and the fundamental values of safety and care of the animals, and so spelling that all out and then making everybody that comes to work for me sign that document, and then you go back to that document all the time whenever there's a problem. It's really good idea to anticipate any problem by getting a good, sound, detailed employee manual.
Another good way, Kim or Tabitha down here, poor management causing a competitive work environment rather than a teamwork environment. A lot of people are saying that and we can tie this into a topic that we already talked about, a commission environment as opposed to an hourly environment. I grew up basically in the industry in a commissioned environment, and I continue to enjoy a commissioned environment. But I now have the privilege of being able to hire people and fire people. But I really only have two rules. I will hire you if you're talented. You're allowed to make mistakes. I consider my salon a learning environment. We are learning all the time. And if I can help you learn something that you didn't know before, even if that's managing your personal, emotional, professional self, then I'm going to help you do that. So I allow people to make mistakes. Stay professional and be helpful. Those really are the only, professionalism goes with respecting each other, respecting each other's body, tools, and spaces, being respectful in the manner of your speech, not putting your hands on someone, being a healthy helperton as much as possible, because you're going to need help with that toe or with that foot or with that dog. So I cultivate that immediately, and I don't put up with it, like not one iota. If I accidentally dream that something is bad in my salon, I go in and straighten everybody out. Like that is, I can't tolerate an unhappy, negative environment. And if I'm in charge of it, it's going to be happy.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Happy, damn
Is it? So there.
Smile, bitches.
Oh, get the brush. I do, though. I mean, you can talk to any of my employees. That we are happy and we're respectful and we love it there. And I have excellent employee retention. So, I mean, it does work, but you just start out that way and then you don't put up with it. It's like I'm going to say the pet parents or the parents that you've seen on TV somewhere, not you, not any of us. But you've seen the parents that say, no, Jeremy, no, Jeremy, no, stop, Jeremy, no, stop. And then you see the ones with the well-behaved children because they got up and removed the child from the behavior the first time and every single consistent subsequent time. And it's really that mindset. When you hear negativity, you go, I don't think so. Reel it in. Go wash your face. I have told everybody in my salon, including my owner, all right, calm down, go wash your face. Straighten up, come out new, okay? Come out new.
Yeah.
Yeah, Angie, be happy or I'll beat you.
I love what Kim said as someone in management, that she empowers her staff. Teach them all that you know and learn from them. That's really wise. That's really, really wise it's a two-way street. It is a partnership. When you have somebody working for you, if you are one of those bosses that doesn't acknowledge the humanity or the gifts of the people that are working for you and show them that you value their point of view. I ask my employees advice on decisions I have to make all the time. And that's something that they offer back to me, and it helps us to feel mutually respected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree totally with that. Oh, Tabitha says, what if management is the issue in a salon? What do you do then as an employee? You have two options. Go to the owner and see if you can work that out and say, I'm having problems and I don't feel I can talk to my manager. Now, if that's all a bust, look for another place. As I'm a really cut and dried lady, though, I'm sure there are exceptions to every rule, and I do make room for them. But for myself, if it's not working out, there's a million other places you can go. Find your niche. Find somewhere that makes you feel like you're a valuable member of their team.
And definitely speak out in through the appropriate channels. I can't stand finding out that people are holding in a concern that they don't feel that they can come to me about. I do regular check-ins with my staff just because I just always want to make sure that they know that I'm listening to whatever concerns that they have.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's bad if you don't feel like you can talk to the people you're working for.
Mhm.
You're a groomer. You can find a job anywhere.
Amen.
You are actually in control of this situation. So somewhere somebody told you you were stuck, and you're not, because you can walk in anywhere and be hired almost immediately, if not sooner.
Yeah.
They might hire you on the way over if they get wind that you're coming. So you do not have to work under substandard conditions, and that includes feeling like you're oppressed and you're unable to express yourself or work freely and express yourself. So if that's something that you have a problem with, I think Michelle is 100% right. You have two options. One is go to the owner, and if that doesn't work, then two, go anywhere else, because you
don't come to work unhappy. Yeah, there's no reason for it. And it is true. It is a buyer's market these days. Groomers are in short supply not because there's less groomers. There's more groomers than ever before, but there's a huge explosion in the pet population and way more demand than there is supply of skilled groomers to do it, which is why we have the pet pro educators. So,
thank you, Cindy. I just
yeah.
Cindy says, having had the most incredible time at your salon, Michelle, I can and will honestly say you truly are exactly the way you talk and believe in a mature handling of these difficult situations. I really am. What you see is what you get. You're happy or you're out.
Yeah, that's right.
At least you're drama free. You can be sad, but just you can't be mean.
Yeah.
Right. And Kat says at her salon down in Belleville, Illinois, which I've seen, and it is the most gorgeous salon ever, that she has a lunch once a month with an open door discussion, voicing opinions, offering each other advice. And that's so great. It's like a monthly staff lunch. That's a great idea.
That's wonderful. I wish more owners interacted and, management actually got to know the people that they work with, and it wasn't so disconnected. Sometimes that's the bigger the company, the more disconnected they are from the workers.
But you have to understand, and corporate is a little different. Corporate is corporate. It's very businesslike. It's very cold, calculated, linear. They look at percentages and long view more than they look at the one individual guy.
Right.
However, in a small salon environment, small veterinary environments or training facilities, or you have a small staff. Now, take into consideration, we are all people that went into the pet industry because why? We love animals and we not so much love people. So there are a majority of us that have very little practice and experience in good people social skills. So if you keep that in mind, that one thing, that will help you be a little bit more compassionate and empathetic to someone who is having trouble getting their thoughts out or feeling like they can't be understood. We work with a bunch of artists who just happen to need to have enough structure to pay their bills sometimes. But they're beautiful people, and they are misunderstood, and they are emotional, and everything does feel like the end of the world. So you just have to be there. And the same way that I work with dogs who are in fear recovery or aggression recovery is the same way you work with these types of people. You have to be balanced. If you're already up here and then you have someone coming with that kind of energy at you, you are going to clash. But if you see something happening where you're going to have a confrontation, you might want to just turn your back a little, center yourself, and come with good energy, good expectations, and good thoughts of a good outcome before you even open up your mouth to begin. That is a good thing to practice.
Right.
It doesn't come naturally unless you practice it. So the more you practice it, the more things can come your way, and you're not just peeling apart.
Amen to like take a deep breath,
Yeah.
think, and practice in your mind before you speak, because words are very powerful and they're very hard to retract. That's really good advice, to think before you speak. Kat said, I love this about your employees. She said that it wasn't a monthly lunch, it's a bitch session. That's that there is open air to complain. But also she said, my girls are my world. Without them, I have nothing. That's a great, I mean, who would want to work for a boss that feels that way about you, that appreciates you that way?
Yeah.
That's what you want. I thank my staff every day. I thank them throughout the day. And I make sure that I say something positive every day to every employee. I find something positive to compliment them on. That way, when they make a mistake, which they also do a lot, I can say, oops, now I've told you before not to do that. But then, I also have found good things to praise them about.
Yes, I agree, Lorraine. Never go to work where you are unhappy. It will affect your work as well. A salon needs to be like an engine. Oh, that's so beautiful. Everyone is on the same page and everyone working together. Truer words were never spoken. I feel like each little business is a little engine that could. And there's a long-term goal, and we're on the track, and sometimes the track breaks, then we fix it and get back on track. But you have to have that long-term vision and be able to articulate that vision to your employees so that they feel like they're a valued part of your journey. And if they're not a valued part of their journey, then you're going to have big employee turnover, or you're going to feel like you're going to bounce from salon to salon until you figure out where it is that you fit in. Now, having said that, ladies and probably gentlemen out there eventually, if you're on your 15th salon and nobody understands you or gets you, it's time to open up your own business or really look at the way you're communicating with other people. If you're 15 salon and everyone likes you, yeah.
If you're on your 15th salon, take a look in the mirror. Yeah.
Right.
No, absolutely. Dara, you teach business owners. How do you tell them to diffuse tense situations before they get explosive?
I'm still working on it myself. So
yeah.
We all have to deal with it differently. And I know how I can handle and what I can't handle. So knowing yourself and what, I don't know.
I mean, what have you not been able to handle? I mean,
What have I not been able to handle? The hardest for me not lately, but in the last couple of years, is how fast the business has grown and not being able to keep up with the speed of that growth. Mm-hmm. Myself, not being able to have the proper manpower in place. And that has put a huge stress. So trying to keep up with that and trying to do too much. I know Melissa and Michelle would say that, Cindy watch them, and even there's some others that are listening in and watching here that would probably agree. We've just the growth is not having the manpower to help ease that. It's easy to find employees in some ways, but not in our industry is tough, and it's hard to find people that are at the level that we're at right now, if that makes sense. So that's that for us. You get to that level and then it's like, now what? Now what do you do? Because you either have to completely train somebody from the ground up to be here, and that takes too long. But then you're trying to bring people or staffing in that think they're at your level, but not. And they want to be at that level, but don't. And then that's tough. So it's finding. I mean, who would have thought I had to go across the country? Literally to the other side of the country.
No, that's okay. I love what Angie said about the tone of your voice when you speak, to have a measured, quiet tone. I'm so guilty of this. When I get stressed, I'll just blurt stuff out, and then I'll say, oh, I should have said that in a more gentle way, or not. And I'll even apologize. Like if I blurt something out and I'm stressed and I'm frustrated, and I say, I'm just really tired of telling you the same thing over and over again. And it's in fact, it's so much better if you just stop and measure how you speak. Amen to that, Angie. That's so.
Yeah. I have to. I know. I think it's safe for me to say with Cindy and I, we live together and we work together all the time. And for me, I do. I am quick to say what's in my head. And I, like Michelle, I don't have her etiquette yet. And it comes out very quick, very harsh. And I've been trying. So my easiest way is to be like, okay, don't talk, don't say anything, just run away.
Angie, I love that. Angie,
you can be in a conversation with her, and then all of a sudden she goes like this. Yup, she just goes and turns around and walks away, and that's it. And you're like, okay, I guess I upset her. Okay.
When you start to feel that in your heart, when you start to feel that, if you
yeah.
have to walk away, you should be thinking, okay, this is the conflict. What are possible resolutions that I can bring to the table? And that's it.
Yeah.
There's no ego. There's no
Right.
emotion, because we're business owners. We're driving a business. We're having a vision. And sometimes, and I have learned this by seeing so many veterinarians fail. Veterinarians go into business not knowing how to do business. They have no people skills. They love animals, and they're overeducated. They're overeducated. So they're just scientists, and this is how they view their world, and it's all in a textbook. And then they have terrible people skills, terrible bedside manner, and they end up losing their business because nobody wants to go there, even if their medicine is fantastic.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, you have to be able to articulate your vision, and if you're not good at managing people, guess what? Hire someone who is. Hire someone who is. That's why owners have managers. That's why that happens. And that is good for you as a business owner. As a leader, you have to really look at your shortcomings and say, like me, I admit freely to anyone who wants to ask, I suck at paperwork. I don't like it, and I avoid it whenever possible. And I go kicking and screaming to the accountant. I don't want to do it, but then I do it, and it's over with. But if I get somebody else to do it, I'm going to do that, so I can concentrate on all my other stuff. So if I want to pay somebody to do the things I know I hate, that's good business. That's good leadership. And it's better for your mind and your soul. Move on. Don't create a drama where you don't need one. If you're bad at hiring people, hire somebody to hire your people. If you're bad at teaching people, hire somebody to teach, do the admin. If you want somebody to do one thing and you want to do another thing, hire somebody to do that, and then let them do it. Let them do it. Trust in the fact that you hired this person, you believe in their credentials, and let them do it so you get back to doing what you love. I hire people, I give them the parameters, they go do what I need them to do. If they start going, I go over there and go, oh, nope, 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 and then go back to do what I do. And they go, and then I go, nope, 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 nope. And then I go back to doing what I can do, what I love doing. Let people do their job for you. Stop micromanaging them. Trust in their decision-making. Give them some parameters and let them breathe. Let them be creative. Let them work for you. Let them be empowered. That's okay. I'm done.
No, it's grooming is art. And my husband and I, my husband's a theater professor. We often discuss the artistic temperament, and you kind of wonder if our industry, like other artistic fields of expression, has a little bit more problem with, sparks between people because of the artistic temperament of people that are highly creative. And, it might be something that our whole industry has sort of an endemic problem with, because we do have people, grooming is artistic expression, and people do get very defensive about.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, Melissa, last time she was here, kind of had a talk with me. I got a couple talking tos.
But you know what? We are all.
I needed them. I'm not going to say.
You know what? But I want to say about that and all the other things, growth is painful. Growth
is. Oh my gosh.
It's not. It's not without its obstacles, and it's not without challenges.
Right.
So if your vision is that long-lived, way down the way there, you have to keep true with your vision and be nice. Be nice. You know what? People work for you better when you're nice to them. It's just a thought. I'm just throwing it out there. Greet them in the morning. Allow them to make mistakes. Allow them to grow. Allow them to grow and go when they fall over. And get them back on track. That is what a good leader, a good educator does.
It's like being a parent of a 2-year-old. I was just talking to a friend of mine today that has her first child is now entering the terrible twos. And I likened this unto just like what you were saying, Michelle, in the bowling alley. If you've ever gone bowling with kids and they put up those bumper rails on the side.
And the little things that you're all
don't go down into the gutters. Those bumper rails are really what we are. We are bumper rails where we're saying, no, we're not going over here. No, we're not going over here. But they can find their way down the lane without us having to micromanage that. I really agree. I just think, as you say, you just kind of set up the bumper rails and make sure it's a nice soft bump and steer them back in the center. Right.
I have a lovely groomer that works for me who came to me into my front room and said, hey, are you hiring? And I had an empty table and I'm like, did you bring your tools? And she's like, no, I just came in here and wanted to ask. I'm like, can you get your tools here in about a half an hour? She went home, got her tools there, tried out on a dog, and I hired her. And she's talented, but she was rough when she first came to me. She had done mobile only for like 7 years. So she didn't have the benefit of looking at anyone else or getting any feedback. Mm-hmm. The growth that I have seen from the moment I hired her to now, which is probably 6 to 8 months, I would say, blows. She's not even the same person. Mm-hmm. She has blossomed. And let me tell you, she is a butterfly. She is a tenderoni. But she is precious as the day is long. She loves the dogs. She didn't have all the skills simply because we all are at a different place of mentorship in our life. And I just showed her how to do a regulation, I guess you would, top knot the other day, and it blew her mind. She's like, I've been sending him home looking like that. And I'm like, no worries. Now you'll send him home looking like this. You're getting better and better all the time. I'm not mad that her other 3 dogs before that weren't perfect. I'm ecstatic that this 4th one was amazing. I like growth. As long as I see that you are working hard, working towards something, I'm going to let you explore that. That's the only way you develop your muscle memory. That's the only way you develop the experience of sharing energy with an animal, how to handle them, how to touch them, how to fold up their legs underneath, how to read their faces. They have to have that breathing room. And if you're always there breathing on the next, oh, no, this was a mistake. Oh, toe mat. Oh, no, this is crooked. Oh, that face is terrible. Who wants that in their life? I want to be taught by somebody that says, oh, yeah, you know what? Next time you could lift up that side. Or do you see how it's kind of hunkered down? Yeah, everybody does that. This is how you fix it. That's what I want in my life. And that's what I provide to others. And as many people as I can reach with this philosophy, that's what I'm going to do, because that's what we need. We're already hurt in our lives. We're already artists. We've already been abused or put down or what have you in your life. If you're a groomer, Michelle Evans said it best. that crazy, that abuse is in there somewhere. If you're a groomer, she did say this to my face. It's a direct quote in these words. She says, yeah, all of us got that. And she said, if you're a groomer, no matter how put together you look, it's in there. It's in there. So I know we're damaged, whatever. We heal. That's what makes us warriors. We are warriors with an artist heart.
And that's why we probably work with animals, right? Because they're so much nicer. I love Kim's soapbox moment.
Yeah.
We spent so much time teaching women to be strong, and we've forgotten about being kind. Oh, that's wonderful, Kim. That's so great.
Yes.
Yeah. Being kind. Kindness is so, so important.
And even within groups that are trying to be better, that are trying to be kinder, that are trying to be aware of all these new things, there's still glitches. Because guess what? We're human and we're trying to do this. And there's no manual. There's no training course that trains us how to do this. The only thing that we can do to learn about it is to do it, to practice it daily. And reassure the people that we love, even when we're mad at them and we yelled at them and threw a brush at them yesterday. It's
I haven't done that in a long time.
It's fine. You work through it. It's okay. As long as you didn't you're going to be okay.
So let me ask you this, because somebody up in here said something that I was going back to. I don't remember exactly where it was, about a manager being hired. Oh, maybe it was Lori. Owner let the manager manage. Micromanaging a manager can also be an issue. And saying, how many, the thing with this industry is, like you said, it's very artistic. And Melissa, you kind of said it best to me that last time was it can't be personal. People take things way too personally. And I did for a while. And now I'm just like, okay. I kind of go, fuck it. Okay.
Usually somebody has got some problem. It may not be about you at all. It may be about something going on in their life. And sometimes you just need to, either trust that is, or ask them, look, it looks like something's not going right with you. Is everything okay? And maybe create a space to show that you actually care about them. Usually you can tell when things are kind of screwing up in people's lives. Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
Yeah. I do try to make concessions. I know that people have things in their life other than work. God knows I do. So, when people come to me, they have their dramas in their lives that are going. And as long as it's not too hideous and it's not going to affect the business, I try to therapize them as much as possible within the confines of work. Hard work and paying attention to work and getting to work on time will help alleviate 98% of the problems you have in the world, because you're still getting a paycheck and you're still able to pay your bills. Let me say that one more time for those in the back. I want to tell you this, and this is from experience. When you start having trouble with your man, with your mom, with your daughter, with your cousin, with your whatever, the first thing that you should think about as far as self-care and taking care of the issue is getting your butt to work. If you have no paycheck, you can't pay to bond out your spouse or pay for that part on the car or on the air conditioner or this or that and the other or whatever you got going on. Come to work, because make that your refuge in times of trouble. And you will always be able to provide for yourself and your dependents. Mm-hmm. Get to work. Swallow it down for a minute. This is a technique that men have been taught to do from the time that they're tiny. Yes. They swallow that crap down. And guess what? Even if they're not with a woman, what do? They go to work. They go to work.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes them solvent in the world. It makes them be able to pay for themselves, pay their way.
And take action. Do stuff instead of ruminating and sitting and reflecting on your navel. I love Kat. Her two favorite words, fuck it and no, are her two favorite words in life.
I think those come out of my mouth the most every day too. And usually it's while I'm turning away. Fuck.
I want to work with groomer Jen. She says that coworkers, if they're salty or out of character, she brings them chocolate cake the next day and see how they react. That's so beautiful.
Oh, I would act up every other day. So every other day.
More chocolate.
Oh, how much weight do your groomers gain?
I'm salty today. I think I'm tomorrow. That's a great idea, though. Yeah, if I see somebody's having trouble at work and they're just trying and they're off sync and they're just off kilter, I'll just order the salon lunch and just say, you know what? Let's take a half an hour. Let's sit down. Let's take a deep breath and talk about that weird dog back there that just keeps howling or, won't let anybody touch its 1 foot or whatever it is. Let's just take a breath. Take a breath.
Yeah, I like it. Kat says in the morning, she says a smiling good morning to everybody. And if she doesn't get the same energy back, they have to go outside for 5 minutes, tell them what's wrong, turn around, walk back in the door and come back in and try the morning greeting again. That's good. I like that.
I do greet every single employee every morning gets a hello, Bill. How's it going? How was your day how was your evening last evening? Are you looking forward to today? And he usually says, oh God, no. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. Okay. Who do we have on the list today? So,
he's happy, right?
yeah, he's a good man. I'm telling you, he's a unicorn owner. He is a special person. Totally.
I like that.
Oh, too funny. All right, we're over time. Anybody? Any last minute comments?
I actually want to take a moment of personal privilege. I'm going to ask for everybody's good karma and prayers and good thoughts and just whatever you can send my way. So tomorrow is a big day, and I don't mean because of the election. Tomorrow is a big day for me and my family and for thousands of families like mine because there's a case being heard before the United States Supreme Court tomorrow. Oral argument is being given in a case that has to do with prison sentences for teenagers who kill people. It's a really serious case. Some people know that I'm a murder victim's family member. My sister, her husband, and their baby were murdered 30 years ago. A teenager. And this case tomorrow is very, very, very important to my life. And to thousands of victims' families that I work with across the country. So what I'm just asking for is everybody's just good juju and good karma and support and energy because it's scary. I don't want to have to keep. It's been 30 years since the murder took place, and I still have to deal with this guy, and I don't want to have to keep dealing with this guy for the rest of my life. And my children's lives and everything. So
other than is this the finality to your particular case?
Not mine. It's another offender with a principle. If they rule a certain way, that could affect thousands of cases across the country.
What is at stake? What are the parameters?
The parameters are, whether or not teenagers can be ever ruled dangerous enough to stay in prison for life. What we're worried about is that there's a small handful of teenagers that are, in fact, already psychopaths, already dangerous. And the case wants to make it so that every one of them can get out early, no matter what, just based on their age, rather than evaluating whether or not they are truly potentially dangerous for life, which some of them sadly are. Most of them are not, but some of them are.
And you want to at least have the protection of the law that says there is a possibility, according to this judgment, that you can rule that a young teenager can indubitably be affected or damaged enough to not have a chance to get out.
Or at least not to have a lot of chances to get out. Yeah, that's right. So anyway, there's a lot at stake, and I know it's totally off topic, and I just appreciate the friendship and support of this community, being able to share with you that I would just really appreciate your prayers and your good thoughts and just holding me close.
Absolutely. Always.
Thank you.
We are. Well, keep us posted. Give us an update. Yes.
I will.
All right. Wrapping it up. Any last words?
I'm good.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Thanks to all our viewers for showing up again tonight. And we will look forward to seeing you next week.
My mom is good, by the way, Kim. Thank you. She's better. Yeah,
Good.
she's better. Thanks.
All right. Have a good week.
Thanks, Tara. Thanks, Michelle. Bye, Melissa. Bye, everybody in the chat room. Great job.
Sorry,